Nearly the end of halftime here in Logan, Utah. North Dakota with a 21-20 advantage over the home team, Utah State. Quite the shocker in the early going of this one. Once again, alongside Dante Whitner, I'm Michael Grady. Quite the entertaining first half. North Dakota applying the pressure early.
Yeah, they were. 3 consecutive scores, stopping them on defense. But, you know, football is a roller coaster ride, especially college football. Fans are in the game. You see the momentum swings really quickly. North Dakota came out. They had the momentum. Utah State fought back, got field goals, touchdowns, and now we're looking at a close game.
Let's take a look at some of the first half highlights with the scores, Dante.
Yeah, and it was more so about trick plays. There you go, Brock Boltman. Reverse pass, wide receiver pass. There, Boykin catching the ball in the middle of the field, scoring the long touchdown, blown coverage from the defense. And here, linebackers underneath, cover 4, safety in position, but there's only one place that quarterback can put that ball. Vaughn, who's only thrown 1 pass, tricked them. They thought it was a quarterback run, defensive back's eyes in the wrong place, and then that last throw there to right, it was a bullet, and he made a great catch.
These are our first half stats brought to you by DiGiorno. 257 total yards for the Fighting Hawks, 261 for Utah State. You see the time of possession in favor of North Dakota. And Utah State is going to get this second half kickoff, and we are back underway. Third quarter action once again put through the end zone by Brady Stevens. And there's a late flag thrown out there. We'll see what this is all about.
After the play, personal foul, blind block, Utah State number 27. That 15-yard penalty will reinforce half the distance. Touchback. First down, Utah State.
Oh, negative play for Utah State after the kickoff. Something you don't want to see, especially when the ball is booted through the end zone. And there's a guy we want to keep an eye on, Logan Bonner. Strong first half, but
correction, the foul's on 20.
Correct the call there. Logan Bonner was limping toward the end of that first half. Andrew Peasley came in on that final drive of the second quarter for Utah State. 12 for 20, 186 yards, and that's a good sign as Bonner's back out there.
That's a great sign for this offense. He's the commander now. You see the type of game that he's having. He's looking for a career day-to-day. We didn't see where he got nicked up, but he had to get back on this football field.
Tyler Jr. gets the carry to start this second half, and nowhere to go. Brought down by Devin Shanowski.
And it's going to be difficult to run the ball when you don't block a guy. And Devin Shanowski, he talked about looking up to Darius Leonard from the Indianapolis Colts, watching Fred Warner and Bobby Wagner right there. That was his best emulation of all of those guys. 2nd and 10.
Another handoff to Tyler Jr. Breaks some tackles and then brought down just shy of the first down.
Coming off a career game last week, he's so smooth. When he gets to the 2nd and 3rd level with a defense, you know, he just makes you miss. He's patient behind his offensive line, and he's just going to make plays. And you can expect them to get him more carries here in this second half.
Transfer from Oregon State. 3rd down and 2. Utah State slowing things down a bit. Another handoff. Then Tyler Jr. moving the sticks, getting the first down.
And you know what this is reminiscent of? Last week, first drive out of halftime, they came out and with 4 consecutive runs, went for it on 4th down, and ended up scoring a touchdown.
1st and 10 for the Aggies. Faking the handoff this time. Bonner trying to find someone open, and it's picked off. C.J. Siegel. Big play to start the second half for this Fighting Hawks defense.
And C.J. Siegel, he read it all the way. That's such a long throw for the quarterback. If you believe what you see, you put your foot in the ground and you drive on the ball, you can make these type of plays all night.
Bonner's had a tough time trying to get the football to Justin McGriff.
He really has. And the thing with this offense is they spread the wide receivers so wide, trying to make you guard the width of the field. Those throws from the far hash are tough for your quarterback, and you can, you know, get into some trouble and turn the football over.
That ball sailed a little bit. See if North Dakota can take advantage. Quick pass. Skopna now with the handle. Gets outside, turning the corner and out of bounds.
Wow, that was an amazing play. It's a wide receiver screen. You got Skopna trailing the play, pitch it back. How often do you see this happen in a football game? Maybe practice, but not executed in the game. North Dakota is pulling out all the stops and trick plays tonight.
Got off to a fast start in the first quarter, looking for a fast start in the third. 2nd and 2. Schuster under center this time. And it's a handoff to Wheel, who's quickly wrapped up and brought down. Justin Rice in there among the tacklers.
Second tackle for loss for the night, and you better know that he's going to play downhill. If he's not going to do anything, he's going to penetrate and make tackles in the backfield. 18 and a half tackles for loss last year, leading the nation. He's going to continue to do that tonight.
3rd and 2 as the crowd gets in it. Wheel alongside Schuster in the backfield. Schuster rolling, and there's some contact, and the flag is thrown. Intended for Belquist.
And Dominic Tatum, he assumed on that play. Usually when you get a sprint out and they're trying to pick you, that guy normally goes to the flat on a 5-yard out. There they went 5-yard, making him think that, turned it upfield, got the penalty.
Defense, number 23, 15-yard penalty, an automatic, first down.
Crowd doesn't like it, but correct call. If you take another look.
Yeah, it's the correct call. You see, normally he'll break out to the sideline, but he did the right thing. If you think you're about to give up a touchdown, you might as well get a pass interference or a holding instead of giving up 7. Good job on that, but you have to keep your eyes on your work. Don't assume, don't guess.
Tonight's Red Zone is brought to you by Verizon. 1st and 10 for North Dakota. Looking for their first win over an FBS school since 2015. Bo Belquist in motion. Schuster handing off to Wheel, quickly brought down.
It looks like Marcus Moore, the transfer from UCLA, beating the double team, penetrating, getting in the backfield, getting to Otis Webb before he gets started. That's the way you play good football. That's the way Utah State wants to play. Penetrating on the defensive line, letting the linebackers clean up behind them.
Okasi Bakawata with that tackle there. Big time play. 2nd and 13 after the loss. Skopna back in at running back. Schuster with some time, now being hassled and brought down. Jalen Bannerman with the tackle.
You want to know who really made that play? It was Cam Lampkin. They motioned all 4 receivers to the top of the screen. They wanted to come back with a slant to the bottom of the screen. Watch the quarterback. He looks there. It's not there. He has to scramble. By that time, the defensive line is getting to him. Good job of being in tune. Defensive line and defensive backs, they have opportunity to stop him and hold him to 3 here.
After an offensive explosion in the first half, the defense is making plays for both teams to start the third quarter. 3rd and 14. Schuster. Quick pass, quick tackle. Garrett Mugg with the catch.
I think Utah State's defense is starting to realize that Garrett Mugg, he runs a lot of slants. He's probably running 5 slants tonight, and they're on top of it. Make the immediate tackle. You don't have to do anything special. Just get him on the ground and hold him to 3. He did exactly what they want to do on defense.
24-yard field goal attempt from Adam Stage. Cade Peterson the holder. Stage was 2 for 3 on field goals last week, and a penalty. Maybe a false start.
False start. Offense, number 64. 5-yard penalty. No first down.
That'll back things up a little bit. And this third quarter started with an interception for North Dakota. And after a Utah State stop, North Dakota looking for 3. 29-yard attempt here. And it's good. 24-20.
Lots of interceptions. CJ sitting on the route, made the interception, putting his offense in position to get 3.
College football on CBS Sports Network is sponsored by DiGiorno. It's not delivery, it's DiGiorno. By Rogue. Don't weaken. And by Corona Premier. Lower carbs, lower calories. Make it premier.
Beautiful scenic shots around campus here, Logan, Utah. Maverick Stadium. Michael Grady, Dante Whitner here with you. A beautiful venue, especially during the daytime. One of the more scenic, one of the best backdrops in college football. With the Bear River Mountains in the background. Nightfall here, 24-20. North Dakota on top early in the third quarter. And once again, North Dakota not giving Savon Scarborough an opportunity to return it. One of the more dangerous return men in college football. Have to be impressed with what we've seen from North Dakota. Underdog in this one. Again, playing at Utah State after Utah State had that come from behind victory over Washington State in the altitude, and they've shown some composure.
They've shown a lot of composure. Again, they have a bunch of seniors over there, upperclassmen, have been here before, and they understand starting fast, sustaining, and finishing games strong.
Utah State trying to turn a new chapter with their program. 1-5, disappointing season a year ago. Nearly 70% of their roster was made up of freshmen and sophomores. Bonner, quick pass. Tompkins on the sideline.
He's gone. He's gone.
Not going to catch him. Devin Tompkins to the house. Touchdown Aggies. 75 yards.
What did we say? Devin Tompkins is the big play, electric guy for this team. Get him the football and get out of his way. Throwing the quick screen, and there you have it. Up the sideline for 6. Have a night, Devin Tompkins.
No one in his way on that touchdown. And Utah State takes the lead in this one off of an electric connection from Bonner to Tompkins. Extra point. They put that through. Quick pass, track meet, Tompkins. One play, 75 yards. Took 12 seconds off the clock.
And that's the type of stress that they put on you. They make you guard every blade of grass out there. And if you're one step off, not ready to make an open field tackle, touchdown.
Utah State enjoying their first lead of the game after the explosive play from Tompkins, but he had some help, Dante.
Yes, he has some help, and you'll see it here. He has the corner, has to be, C.J. Siegel has to be outside here, turning the ball back to the defense. He gets blocked, gives up the sideline, and that's where the touchdown comes in. Block, gives up the outside, big receiver on him. Justin McGriff does his job, freeing his brother, Devin Tompkins, for the touchdown. 5 catches for 130 yards.
Unselfish play. McGriff taking 2 guys out. Tompkins, such a fiery player. Last week against Washington State, career high 94 receiving yards. We still have plenty of time left in this third quarter. He has 152. Skokna on the return. And now North Dakota is going to have to make a play. Got off to such a fast start in this one, but they knew this would be a track meet.
And they're playing right into Blake Anderson and Utah State's hands. They want to have more left in the tank in the fourth quarter than the opposition, and it looks like they're on their way to doing that.
27-24. Fighting Hawks playing from behind now for the first time in this game, and some movement on the line. Both teams pointing at each other. It's a false start on the offense.
Offense, number 74. First down.
And that's not the way that you want to go, especially after a big play for a touchdown. They're going to have to get back at the line of scrimmage. They're going to have to get back to business, running the football, play action, easy throws.
Again, given that Utah State finding the rhythm and can score in a hurry, you would think North Dakota wants to chew some clock. 80 points. Schuster wide open and brought down a couple yards shy of the first down.
That's what the run pass options do. It gets your underneath defenders, linebackers keyed in on the run to where you're thinking run, you play it so hard. Garrett Mack sitting right there in the middle of the defense wide open. They're going to have to read their keys better if they want to stop this play.
13-yard. The 2nd and 1 after the 9-yard gain.
You have to be careful here. This is where it can be a waste down. 2nd and 1, teams like to take shots down the football field.
Schuster, quick handoff. Weah breaking a tackle and getting through for the first down.
Weah's having to do a lot before he even gets the ball. There's a lot of penetration through the middle of that defense. But he talks that, what do you call that? 9-1-1 situational football. He broke the first tackle and picked up the first down. That's what you expect from your All-American running back.
Did not play in the 2019 season, and then in the spring season really came into his own.
Burst on the scene, 750 yards rushing, average 7 yards per carry. That's unheard of.
Did that in 7 games as North Dakota got to the quarterfinals of the FCS playoffs. Pressure for Schuster, gives it up, dangerous throw, but is brought in and the flag is thrown.
And Justin Rice, he read that perfectly. When those offensive linemen start to get out, you have to get over, beat a blocker, make the tackle. He did it all on that play, and he got held.
Officials talking this one over.
Eligible player downfield. Offense for 72. 5-yard penalty. No first down.
See the look on Bubba Schweiger's face says it all.
And Bubba Schweiger, he's big on discipline. That's another one of those discipline penalties that he talks about. It's not the defense that's doing anything to them, it's them hurting themselves. Pre-snap penalties, holding, illegal eligible downfield.
See the penalty situation for both teams. 1st and 15. Schuster, quick pass, but nowhere to go for Bo Belquist. Brought down immediately.
Hunter Reynolds, the transfer from Michigan. And what did Bonda tell us? He told us that this is his type of game, right? Coming from the Big Ten, being in the box, being a box safety. And what they did right there was they rotated the safeties. They're still playing man, but instead of running the other safety across the field, they rock and roll it. He was right there in position to make the play. And all you have to do is get him on the ground, make the easy play, easy tackle. Good job from Hunter Reynolds.
Efficient game from Schuster so far. 17 for 20, 224 yards, 1 touchdown, 1 pick. 2nd and 16. Schuster, and that ball not hauled in. Brock Boltman got a hand on it, but couldn't reel it in.
And he couldn't get away from the press there. There was no separation, really nowhere to go with the football. The defense was all clued in on it. He's lucky that ball was not intercepted. On defense, we talk about tips and overthrows, and that was an overthrow that possibly could have been picked off if it was a guy in position.
This is exactly what Utah State defensive coordinator Ephraim Bonda wants. 3rd and long situations.
Yeah, run, he'll like to blitz you, but here he's going to go with 3 down linemen, zone. They want to fit the screen. They want to fit it and tackle, get him on the ground.
3rd and 16. Schuster, quick pass, nothing doing. The Aggies get a stop. They're fired up.
Outside, inside defense. You get the quarterback to flush the pocket. Corner sitting outside. Justin Wright sitting inside. And he's going to be around the football all day, just like last week. The effort that he plays with is phenomenal.
Jordan Nathan back to return this punt. Cade Peterson is going to send it away.
He might have a chance with this one.
He'll try to make a play. Spin.
There it is.
Stays on his feet.
There it is. He gone.
Into the outside. It goes out of bounds around the 41.
And that's what it takes. Special teams to give your team a spark. And you see all of the guys on the sideline for Utah State. They understand how big that is in the momentum.
Have an injury on the field. We'll take a timeout. Utah State leading by 3. (27-24) advantage for Utah State. 6:34 to go in this 3rd quarter. Tomorrow at 3:30 Eastern on CBS. College football returns with a game between 2 armed forces on a day our country will never forget. When Air Force meets Navy. Get set for the game beginning at 2:30 with the Mercedes-Benz College Football Tribute. Followed at 3 Eastern by State Farm College Football today. College football returns with Air Force Navy tomorrow on CBS. North Dakota's Peyton Fisher, redshirt freshman out of Fargo, North Dakota, hurt on that punt return. Back to live action. Logan Bonner getting Justin McGriff on the sidelines and out of bounds.
There it is, going back to zone, sitting down, making the easy catch. 6'6", 215-pound frame. I don't want them to get him more involved in this offense, and I know that they do as well.
Utah State cooking offensively. Bonner's already thrown for 276 yards and 3 touchdowns in this game. Bonner on this sideline. Tompkins makes the grab.
And you see him talking. He's excited because he knows that he has it rolling. They're giving him so much room on the outside that he can have that all day.
Utah State once again applying stress, exactly what they want to do. Quick snap. John Gentry. And he picks up that 1st down.
And they're still going fast up tempo, and you can start to see North Dakota's defense starting to wear down. They want to run the ball, run the ball, run the ball.
Bonner looking deep. Has McGriff, but little bit long on that play.
And I thought he had it. I thought McGriff was going to lay out 6'6" frame and pull in an incredible catch. But you see what they're doing. They're attacking North Dakota on the outside. They're wearing them down, getting them tired, and trying to go over their head.
McGriff to the wall. Be careful there. Bonner. Quick pass. And knocked out of bounds after a minimal gain. Jordan Nathan with the catch.
Yeah, Jordan Nathan, he has to protect himself better. It looked like he thought he was out of bounds there, but the defense is still playing.
3rd and 6. Opportunity here for North Dakota's defense. Utah State 3 for 10 on 3rd downs.
Very wide formation.
Noah with the carry, brought down quickly. Good defensive stop there for North Dakota. Are they going to go for it?
Looks like they're going to go for it. They're leaving their offense out there.
Applying that pressure. 4th down and short.
Brought in a bigger guy, so either they're trying to fool the defense with a run-pass option or they're going to run it.
Already 2 for 2 on 4th downs. Another carry for Noah. Has some room. Breaks some tackles and get down to the 10.
That's what you want to see from your offensive line. That's why they brought 83, the tight end, in to get that base block on the outside. Gentry read it beautifully and picked up the 1st down.
Needed 1, got 11. Three quality running backs making plays for Utah State in this one.
And they're doing exactly what they want to do on offense. Wear you down with the tempo, run the football when you're tired.
Bonner, another give to Noah. Pushes his way through, gains a couple of yards.
And the best thing about having multiple backs is, with this up-tempo, when the defense gets tired, you still have fresh legs in the backfield, guys that really want to prove themselves and, you know, put themselves on the map. They are really marching right now, and they're looking to finish this drive in the end zone.
When you think about these quick offenses, you think about the passing game, but Utah State's so versatile with their rushing attack. So they can keep the sticks moving and keep the clock running when they want to. 2nd and 7. Noah, another carry. Has a little bit of room. Gets near the 2-yard line.
And he is a low. That's the 2nd time tonight I've seen him lower his shoulder on a safety. And you'll see it, catch it. Great read. And there you go. Bomb! Just run him over. That'll give you a headache.
And when you're tired, you have this altitude. The last thing you want to do is tackle a freight train like Noah. Oh, but they gang tackle him this time. And that'll set up another 4th down. An opportunity for North Dakota to get a stop. And there's an injury on the field.
Look like Jackson Turner.
That's a guy you don't want to see any of your players go down, but Jackson Turner, 17 career sacks. 5th all time with this North Dakota program. He looks like he's in some pain.
And you never want to see this. You never want to see guys go down with an injury. Hopefully he can get up and he's okay.
We'll take a timeout. Utah State threatening 4th down on the other side of this timeout on CBS Sports Network. Jackson Turner, linebacker for North Dakota, getting attention on the sideline. Will not be on the field for what is a crucial 4th down. Looks like the offense is going to stay out there on the field for Utah State. You agree with this?
I agree with it. They're keeping their foot on the gas. They're being aggressive. And you have to know that they're going to have something designed that they've been working on all week for 4th and short situations. If it's man-to-man, maybe some type of pick route, maybe get Logan Bonner outside the pocket.
4th and 2. 3 for 3 on 4th down for the Aggies.
And they are in man coverage.
Look at Justin McGriff at the bottom of your screen.
They're checking it. There's entirely too many defenders in there to run the ball up in there.
Bonner needs to get it away, and it's incomplete. Utah State staying aggressive, but North Dakota gets the stop.
They were in tune with that. They needed that stop. They came up with it. Man coverage across the board. It looked like he might have been able to get the ball to the swing to the right, but there was no way he was going to be able to fit that ball into Justin McGriff. Good job of North Dakota's defense stopping them in the red zone.
I will see if North Dakota can sustain a drive, maybe give their defense a breather.
Yeah, their defense definitely needs a breather. They've been on the football field a long time, up-tempo offense. They have to run the football to allow their defense to recuperate on the sideline. because you don't want to get stopped down here, because the next person to score would be Utah State if they have to punt out of their own end zone.
Utah State forced a safety last week. It's Weah with the carry. Squirting through for a handful of yards.
The way it's been so close tonight. It's always been one guy shoestring tackling him. And I know he wants to break these tackles. You see it. He got guys in the backfield before he even gets going. And that was Hunter Reynolds, who Vonda said was going to have a great game today, because this is the type of game. He has 9 tackles on the night.
The junior out of South Orange, New Jersey, going to transfer from Michigan. 2nd down and 6 for the Fighting Hawks. Schuster, quick pass, hauled in, 1st down, North Dakota.
Again, that's that same play. You have trips to the right, you're play actioning with the back, or you're not. No, ain't even no play action here. They just vacated their zone, allowing that number 3 receiver to hook up over the ball. I don't know what's going on with the defense right now, but they have to take that away, because they've been going there entirely too much.
Schuster up to 237 yards passing after that connection with Adam Zavalny. 1st down and 10. Under a minute to go in this 3rd quarter. Schuster again finding the open man. Zavalny has some running room, gets out of bounds at the 45.
And that's a big play for North Dakota. Getting the defense flowing to their left, coming back with the shallow cross, almost like a throwback that you see a lot of the NFL teams run nowadays. And that's a big play for this offense. Getting in field position, midfield. Look for him to take a shot somewhere around this 40.
26-yard gain on the hookup. Big offensive possession for the Fighting Hawks. The give is to Skokna, brought down immediately.
And it's just too much penetration. Byron Vaughn out of Fort Worth, Texas. And, you know, talking to Bonda, he said that they feel like they have 4 starting defensive ends. They can rotate them at any time, and there won't be a drop-off. And you'll see it there, penetration for a tackle for loss.
That will be the last play of this 3rd quarter. We had to wait a while for this game to get started, and you cannot go anywhere. 3-point ball game. Utah State on top, North Dakota driving. 1 more quarter to go. We have ourselves a ball game in Logan, Utah. The Aggies leading by 3.